I'm here tonight to talk to you about products worth talking about. And I think what I mean by that is something that you're proud of having built. Something that you feel like is really making a difference, really addressing like customer problems and real customer problems. And I want to make this more of a conversation. So instead of like me talking here for an hour and then like you having to save your questions for the end and maybe not remember what was it about, I would suggest that you stop me so you can raise your hand and I'm going to be talking about it. If you want to ask a question, share an experience, a comment with the rest of the group, please feel free to do so. If you're not doing it, I'm going to start asking you questions because I really want this to be interactive. So let's go. I'm Annie, as Bianca said. I'm a senior product manager in TransferWise, and we are hiring. We're always hiring. We're hiring again. I'm the product manager for the Latin market, so Latin America, and it's the Latin America expansion team is one of the growth teams, one of the regional expansion teams that we have in Latin America. We have another 6 expansion teams, but we also have other types of teams, the teams that look after the infrastructure that powers the services that we offer to our customers. We also have teams who look after the core customer experience, that build the customer experience that we try and localize and launch across these global markets. So let's move to the talk. So by enabling people to send money with the real exchange rate, so that rate that when you Google GBP to euro, you see the exchange rate, the exchange rate that we offer you, not an exchange rate with a lot of hidden fees baked into it. And there's where how everything started, not looking like this, looking way more rudimentary, and with a very manual MVP, very manual behind the scenes. So, but that's how it all started. It remains being one of our key products, the main product that brings most of our volume. But we've evolved. So we know that people don't want to just send and be sent money cross-border. They also want to receive money. They live in the UK, but they work with a company in the US. And they want to be able to receive money from that company in the US. So they want an account in the US with the bank account details from the US. And they struggle to go to the US, open a bank account, or they struggle even more to be able to do that online from here. So we created the borderless account that enables you not only to send money with TransferWise, but also to have these different bank accounts and these different wallets to hold money in 40 different currencies. And more recently, we've launched our debit card last year in April. So if you are TransferWise users in the UK, you might have the card. And the card allows you to not only send and receive, because you can do both things with your profile in TransferWise, but also to spend money using the real exchange rate anywhere you go. So that's TransferWise for those who didn't know it. And this is how we've been doing so far. So we now have 5 million customers globally. Of course, we're still, our strongest markets are still the UK, Europe. We are pretty big in the US as well, but we are in other places. We are in Asia, Pacific, Australia. Australia and New Zealand, we just launched a debit card. And in the US, we launched it like a couple of months ago. The debit card was not there yet, now it is. So all the Americans can now expend money with the real exchange rate as much as the Europeans can. We move 4 billion pounds every month for our customers cross-border and through the card. And through moving this amount of money to our customers with much cheaper rates and fees, we help them save. We have helped them save 1 billion pounds approximately in the past 12 months compared to what they would spend if they were sending money and receiving money with banks. And although we are pretty young, so we were founded in 2010 and launched in 2011, we've been cash generating since 2017. So we don't really depend on funding to run. We already run on our own cash. So, and what do you have to do with all of this, and what does it have to do with what we're going to talk about here today? So 75% of our users join via word of mouth. It's not... Yeah.
How do we track that?
How do we track that? Yeah. It's most of it is referrals. So most of it is customers inviting other customers or organically arriving to our website. Customers that we haven't touched before through in other channels. So, but mostly it's referrals, people being invited by someone. We do have a referral program where when you invite someone and they use TransferWise and then send money use TransferWise, you get a reward. A lot of our customers don't even bother to get that back because they do it because they really trust that this is a better way of sending money compared to what they used to use before. So they are very loyal and very loyal advocates of TransferWise. But so this is a product worth talking about, that our customers think it's worth talking about. So how did we get here? So I thought, how do I explain to people what's the essence of this? What is behind TransferWise? How was TransferWise built, and how does it run? And how is it possible that 75% of our customers have arrived to us because they've been referred by someone else? And I think the best way of explaining this is going through the company values, because the company values really translate what is behind how we do product. I think you're going to hear from a lot of companies that they have a product culture, they're product oriented, they're customer focused. I've been in a few places and I've spoken to many people, and it's not actually that easy to find a company that is as product oriented and customer focused as TransferWise. So I thought that the best way of explaining to you how we do it is to go through this core values that are at the heart and center of everything that we do. So the first one is, this is not a job, this is a revolution. So we're not really, so the product, when you're talking about technology and software, who do this, who creates this are the people, right? So it's not a machine, it's the people who create this. So whenever we are hiring people, we hire taking this into account. What is your motivation to be here? Why do you want to be here? Why does it matter to you for real? Do you care about this mission? Do you care about making, I'm not gonna anticipate what the mission is, but do you really care about this mission? And if you don't, maybe this is not the best place for you, or maybe it's not the best fit. So one of the things that we take a lot into account is how much people are motivated by making money without borders. Instant, convenient, transparent, it's missing here, and eventually free. So how much people care about that is something that we take into account. And when people come in, and when they are inside the company, and they are creating or developing or running whatever they need to do, they always have this in mind. It's as spectacular to see. I had not seen anything like this before. Everyone in the company knows exactly what the mission is. And whenever I am, as a PM, doing anything that someone thinks, this is not really getting us closer to the mission, they'll come to me, but then I'm already going a few steps ahead and talking about feedback. But they will come to me and say, Annie, are you really sure that this is helping us achieve the mission faster? Can you show that to me? Do you have any evidence of that? So people know what we're trying to do. And I think because we have slightly contained also objective and mission, it makes it easier to, because it's instant, right? It's when I'm moving money from here to here, like from the UK to the US in 20 seconds. That's how we define it. That's how we define instant. So it's totally measurable. I know exactly what percentage of my transfers are instant today, and I know where I have a pretty good idea, not me actually, the team that looks after that, but I do some of this on my region as well. I know exactly what the next big jump that I can make. What is that I can develop, integrate, what is the new payment method or payout method that I can develop that is going to help me become instant, or is going to help more of the transfers to be instant. Convenience is actually one that is not as easy to measure. We use a lot of different things to measure convenience, whether it's easy to use the product. Some of them are NPS, so that it's sort of very connected to the referral, to the word of mouth as well. It's a good indication of how that is going to fluctuate. But we also use customer contact rates, for example, like how much do people feel like they need to get in touch to find out something, or to make sure that a transfer is going through like smoothly. That's also another measure of convenience. But that one is a bit less evident. And it's free, right? Free is when the price is zero. So this, we know exactly what the price is today. It obviously varies across markets because operational costs are different. But we know exactly what the price is today. And we tend to have a pretty good idea of how to drop that significantly. I wouldn't say we are 100% sure how to make it free, how to make it zero, because that would require changing what I was explaining to you. What's the business model? Like the business model today relies on us charging conversion fees. So for us to be free, for the price to be zero, we have to change that business model. So we're not exactly sure how to get to that point. But we have a pretty good idea of how to drop it a lot, to the point that it's tending to free. It's almost free. So this is the mission. It's clear. It's measurable. It's not time contained, because time bound, because we don't know exactly when each of these things are going to happen, but we know where they're going to get in like 1, 2, 3 years. That we know, but we don't know when they're going to be complete. That's the answer that we don't have yet. But I think the other customer value is this, and we see this written like everywhere across the company. So this means, of course, that customers come first. And if something might be easier for a team, or might be easier for a group of people, like I would rather do things this way, and I say, okay, is it best? Is it the best way? Is it the best thing for the customer? Is it better for the customer? If it's not, so that's not the direction that we are going. And all of this, like both customers and team, come before your own ego. So you're not supposed to be doing something because no one has done it before and it's going to look cool when you receive it. Or because you want to show to someone that you're able to do something. And that's another thing that is going to... I thought that was something here. That shows up in the feedback culture as well, because people will call it out. If they see this happening, they will speak up, and they will speak up in front of the whole company. So it's very important that you keep yourself true to this, because even if you, for any reason, slips a little bit, someone is going to notice and is going to come talk to you. So, and how do we do this? So how do we keep, we do of course a lot of user research, interviews, user testing, prototyping, all of this. But we also talk to customers, but not just me, everyone in the company talks to customers. Everyone in the company does customer support for every now and then. So they answer emails, they get on the phones, they do what we call side-by-side with customer support team. And they, by doing that, of course, I do that regularly. I do customer support hours every week. So I dedicate some hours of my week to like sitting down and answer emails as any other customer support person does. And in that time, I'm not on Slack. I'm answering emails and I'm solving customer problems. I was talking about a number of like customer contacts as one of the key metrics and how it's different in different markets depending on the level of maturity. So that is also something that helps us assess like understand convenience. So if this is not something that you've been looking into, I truly recommend that you do. Like work closely with the customer support team in your company. They have a lot of knowledge to share. Do that. Support customers yourself. How and try and solve customers' problems yourself. You see how huge of a difference it makes in your understanding of what is going on. And maybe start using customer contacts as a measure to understand how well your product is doing end to end, and not only in the conversion funnel or revenue generating, but end to end. Like, is it like after, like the after sales and everything that happens in between? So, and just quickly, I wanted to go through the no drama, good karma value. Yeah, we're running out of time, but just quickly. So, and that touches on feedback. As I was saying, everyone in the company, from the CEO to like everyone else, no one feels like they shouldn't be talking to someone about something, they shouldn't be feeding back. So if you have an idea, an opinion, if you feel like something is not really in favor of customers or anything like that, everyone is encouraged to speak up, and they actually do, and they argue, and they bring evidence to the discussion. So that's very spread across the company, and that's one of the things that, given the level of autonomy that we have, I think that's the one thing that keeps us connected, that keeps us together, and walking like the same walk, and pulling in the same direction. Because we are always communicating and always giving feedback. And then the last value, we get it done. And I think the way we enable we get it done, and I think someone asked something I said that had to do with autonomy, I think it was is that we have this truly autonomous teams in TransferWise, what we call full stack teams. But it's not full stack in terms of full stack engineers. That as well. But for example, in the LATAM team, in the core team, engineers, me, other PMs, data analysts, customer research specialists, that sort of thing, we have 15 people, 16 today. And but in the wider LATAM team, the team that looks after Latin American customers, we have 1,500 people. So customer support, operations, KYC and verification, agents, compliance, everything that we need day to day to operate as a team and to serve our customers, we have inside our team. So when we come together to plan, define objectives, roadmap, of course we have representatives of all these operational teams and different teams that are inside the Latin American team coming together to establish these objectives and these goals and how we are going to achieve those. And that means that if we want to expand into a new market and launch a new market, we're going to need more customer support to be able to do that, or we're going to have to free up time from customer support from another market to be able to serve the customers in this new market that we are entering. We don't really need to go through several levels of sign off or have to talk to a lot of different people across the company, trying to have the budget approved or anything like that. We can make those decisions inside the team. If we need to hire more people, we hire more people. If we can actually automate something that we've been doing manually so that we have more capacity to onboard more customers, we do that. And we make these trade-offs and these decisions inside the team. Yeah. Time's up. That's something that I would really love to talk more about, because I think it's one of the really powerful things in TransferWise. We believe that those closest to the customer are the best place to make decisions. So of course the CEO has opinions, of course the board has opinions, and other people in the company, they feedback, as I was explaining, and they challenge you a lot of times. But the final decision is the team's decision. So we as a team define the objectives. Of course, need to be aligned with the objectives, with the mission, and with wider company objectives. But how we are going to get there specifically is something that is totally up to us.